All right, we're going to talk about a couple of situations where you would use percent of a number, quite a few different ways to use it. We're going to start with a money problem. You would see this a lot, something where if you're in a store, you could even pull out your cell phone calculator and figure these kind of things out. So we're going to start off with Nick Sock and his MMA shirt. Nick aspires to be a professional fighter, and he feels that wearing this $47 shirt around is going to help him fight. But his dad thinks that he's crazy because he knows that he's going to get knocked out probably the first round of the first fight that he has. So he wants to get this shirt on a discount because he knows he's not going to wear it very much. So we've got his $47 MMA shirt. He's going to get a 20% discount, and then we have to pay 7% tax. So the very first thing you always start with if you're doing a money problem where it's discount or tax or anything like that is you want to take the discount off first. Okay, so we got a couple of different ways we could do this. I could do $47 shirt times this as a decimal, which would be 0.20. If I do that, 47 times 0.20, I'm going to get this, 9.4. Okay, since we're dealing with money, we have to make this reflect that. So change has two place values, so this would be 9.40 or $9.40. I find that it always helps when you're going through these problems that you label things. So I know that 20% is the discount, so I'm going to put a save beside this. That's not how much he actually pays for it. If I did it this way, now I just need to do $47, take away what he saves, because that's a discount, we get that off. And if I do 47, take away $9.40, I'm going to come up with $37.60. Okay, 37.6. That's 60 cents. Okay, that's one way you could do this. Another way to do this is if you know that he's got a 20% discount, everything's out of 100%. So that means that he has an 80% that he is actually paying for the shirt. So we could just do this. I could do 47 times, instead of times 0.20 to get the save, I could get how much he pays right away. I could do 47 times 80% as a decimal, which would be 0.8 or 0.80, and then right away I'm going to get $37.60. So now we know that this is how much he's paying for the shirt. Now we need to do the tax. Okay, tax we can also do a couple of different ways. I want to take that price that I'm paying. A lot of people get confused. They take the original price again. Don't do the tax off the original price if you get a discount, because then you're paying more for it. I could times this by the tax. 7% is not 0.7, that's 70%. It's 0.07. If I take this times 0.07, I get this. I get 2.632. Okay? You've got to remember we're dealing with money, and money only has two place values in the decimals. So I'll just get rid of this 2. So now it's $2.63. With tax, you just have to add on tax. So now I'm going to do my $37.60 and add it to my $2.63, and I would get, let's see, 312, 10, 4, $40.23. So that is one good situation to use percent of a number. All right, next one with percent, we're going to go to a restaurant here. After Nick's fight, taking his mom out after the fight, he's going to pay for it because even though he lost, you still get paid even if you lose, so that's not a big deal. He's got a lot of money left. He's going to splurge. He's going to go to Applebee's. $55 for their meal altogether. But he's going to have to pay more than $55 because you've got to think about tax and you have to think about tip. Both of these things are items that you have to pay additional for. Additional is tax, tip is additional as well. Now you can't just add these together and make it 25%. That will not work. It's kind of like if you have two coupons for 50% off, you don't get the item for free. 50% off the first number, then 50% off the second number. Same thing applies here. So we're going to have to do the things separate. So we'll do the tax do the tax first. Let's see. So if we do $55 times the tax, which would be 0.1 or 0.10, we're going to get $5.50. I like to label this as tax just so you know what it is when you get done with it. If I add the tax on to what Nick's got already, $55 plus $5.50 is just going to be $60.50. So that's before the tip. Now, one other way you can do this that's kind of nice is that instead of having to add the two things together, I can just do 55 times 1.10 instead of just 0.10, 1.10. If I do this, this is basically taking it times 110%. If you think about it, timesing by 100% is going to get you your $55 back. Timesing it by 10% is going to get you the extra, so it just adds it all together for you. So if I just did this problem right here, I would automatically get $60.50. Okay? Now, usually the tip is up to you depending on how the server did, brought your drinks out quickly, so it's up to you. Normal tips I think are like 15% or something like that, so we'll factor the tip. Nick says 15%, we'll do that. Okay, so we need 60/50 and then the tip. The tip is going to be 0.15. So all I need to do is, on your calculator or on your paper, doesn't matter, 60.50, $60.50 times 0.15 is going to get you this, 9.075. Now, you got to understand that we're dealing with money this time around, so there's only 2 decimal places for money. So what I would do here is you could just scratch that 5 and make it 907, but if you have that 5, you'd probably want to round up to an 8 there. So I'm just going to scratch both of those and do 908. Now all you have to do is add the stuff together, and it looks like we would get $69.58 for your total. You can use that little trick that I showed you before when you're going to add something onto the amount. I could change this 15% to 115%. Then if I did the problem, it would automatically end up with this. So Nick's total bill is $69.58.